If only goalkeeper Bento hadn't made that mistake. If only Al-Khaibari hadn't missed the penalty. Then there wouldn't be such deep sadness and regret for Cristiano Ronaldo now. The moment Galeno stepped up to the spot, tens of thousands of hearts in the stands seemed to hold their breath. One decisive strike, and when the ball hit the back of the net, the entire stadium exploded in an sea of green. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, Cristiano Ronaldo stood frozen, his eyes lifted toward the sky, his empty hands pressed against his chest. The captain's armband was taken off. At that moment, everyone knew Ronaldo had truly been defeated. The man who was once the king of finals now once again has to watch his opponents lift the trophy right before his eyes. Oh Ronaldo, how heartbreaking it is for him. Since Cristiano Ronaldo joined Al-Nassr, the club has reached countless finals, big and small, whether it be the King's Cup, the Saudi Super Cup, the Arab Club Champions Cup, or even matches of honor. But the cruel irony is that almost every time, they've had to leave the pitch in bitter disappointment. Some defeats came through the cruel fate of a penalty shootout, where a single mistake was enough to shatter the dream. Other times, Al-Nassr collapsed because of individual errors, and often they were simply outmatched by braver opponents. Whatever the reason, the ending remained the same, Ronaldo lowering his head, walking away quietly with a sorrow and regret that never fades. That image has repeated itself so many times that the public can't help but sigh. For people have always been accustomed to seeing County Route 7 as a symbol of victory. A born champion, not as a powerless runner-up. And it is exactly this contrast that makes every defeat with Al-Nassr sting even more. The haunting curse of finals still clings to Ronaldo and his team to this very day. Even sadder, this scenario is no longer a rare misfortune but has become a familiar sight that leaves fans in regretful silence. People were too used to seeing County Route 7 as a champion. So when he repeatedly suffers defeat, the disappointment is magnified tenfold. And in these very moments, the biggest question is no longer about wins or losses, but whether Ronaldo can ever once again find that final ray of glory in the golden jersey of Al-Nassr. It is almost unbelievable for a player once known as a true trophy hunter, one who collected every major title in Europe. From the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the Champions League, the Euros, all the way to the Nations League. Yet in Saudi Arabia, Cristiano Ronaldo has had to walk away empty-handed time and time again. What has unfolded over the past 3 years feels like a cruel twist of fate. A bitter irony for the Portuguese superstar. In 2023, Ronaldo and Al-Nassr reached the final of the Arab Club Champions Cup. He scored, he carried the team on his shoulders during their toughest moments. And yet, in the end, he quietly left the pitch as the trophy slipped into the hands of their opponents. Then in 2024, the same painful script repeated itself in the King's Cup, where Al-Nassr once again fought their way to the last match, only to watch Al-Hilal lift the trophy while Ronaldo, head down, trudged past the podium to collect nothing but a runner-up medal. And most recently, in 2025, the Saudi Super Cup became yet another wound, adding to the growing list of heartbreaks. Ronaldo set a historic milestone by scoring at least 100 goals for 4 different clubs, a unique personal achievement. A true testament to his greatness. Yet on that very special day, Al-Nassr once again fell short, losing on the cruel penalty shootout to Al-Ahli. As many finals as he has reached, that many times Ronaldo has had to endure the bitter taste of defeat. The man who was once so familiar with lifting trophies now finds himself time and time again forced to watch others celebrate. Perhaps the trophies in Saudi are deliberately avoiding Ronaldo, always slipping away like a cruel destiny, leaving behind wounds in his heart and in the hearts of his fans. Wounds that barely have time to heal before bleeding again. The most bitter irony is that in almost all of these defeats, Ronaldo has still been the best player on the pitch. At the age of 40, he is still scoring, still fighting like a warrior, still shouting, urging his teammates forward, still rekindling hope in moments when all seemed lost for Al-Nassr. And yet, when the final whistle blows, all those hopes vanish, leaving behind only a harsh reality. Al-Nassr lacked composure, they lacked the steel that defines a true giant. Fans were once so used to seeing Ronaldo explode with decisive goals, last-minute strikes that sent crowds into rapture. They had seen him step up to the penalty spot, cold and clinical. They had seen him scream, gesture, and lead like a true captain, desperately trying to pull his team together. But football is never the story of one man alone. And when Al-Nassr needed someone else, anyone else, to step up and share the burden with Ronaldo, they fell into silence, Cold, unforgiving silence. They lacked the strong legs to change the game, the sharp minds to stay composed when it mattered most. And so Ronaldo, a man who has conquered countless peaks, who once owned the grandest stages of football, has been left behind, not because he is no longer good enough, but because of the fragility and weakness of the team around him. That sadness may be even greater than defeat itself, for it makes Ronaldo seem alone within the very club to which he has given his heart. Ronaldo is surely hurting, but perhaps his fans hurt even more. It is hard to accept, watching their 40-year-old idol, the man who once lifted the Champions League 5 times, who dominated Europe's greatest arenas, now looking lost and repeatedly falling short in tournaments far smaller in stature. This cruel contrast feels like a bitter joke of fate, leaving many of his admirers choked with emotion. People love Ronaldo not only for his goals, not only for his superhuman leaps, but above all for his indomitable will, his unyielding fighting spirit, and when they see him still giving everything, still running tirelessly in the yellow of Al-Nassr despite being 40, their love only deepens. Yet with every defeat, it feels like another blade cuts into the fans' hearts. Because they know, time is running out. Every missed chance at silverware is another dream slipping away. The Ronaldo who once shone under the brightest lights is now left abandoned in the defining moments. It is an image that evokes both sorrow and profound pity. But even so, sorrow must be put aside. For football has always been a journey of hope. Every bitter defeat carries with it a lesson, a warning for the team. The loss in the recent Super Cup may feel like a heavy fall. But if Al-Nassr can rise from it, it could be the very foundation for growth. They must realize they cannot forever rely on the 40-year-old legs of Ronaldo. They cannot place the entire weight on his shoulders. To reach the summit, Al-Nassr need more than just one man's brilliance, they need collective strength, individual courage in decisive moments, and above all, the burning desire to win that defines a true champion. Because Ronaldo does not have much time left at the highest level. Every match now is a gift. Every chance to lift a trophy is one final dream still unfinished. He deserves to feel that joy once more, before closing the curtain on a career that every footballer dreams of. Above all, the fans hope that Al-Nassr will not let this drought drag on forever, but instead learn to turn today's tears into tomorrow's smiles, to give Ronaldo the beautiful ending he so deserves. And then, came the moment. Galeno's strike in the decisive penalty shootout. The ball hit the net, and the entire stadium erupted in joy for Al-Ahli. On the other side, the image of Ronaldo bowing his head in silence will remain etched in the memory of fans forever. Few noticed that just moments earlier, as his teammates stepped up to take their penalties, Ronaldo had knelt at the center circle, eyes closed, quietly praying. At 40 years old, the man who had countless times decided the fate of matches with his magical feet, could now only place his hopes in his teammates. In destiny, in some fragile miracle, but the miracle never came. The final ball slammed into the net, and Galeno's smile cut straight through Ronaldo's burning desire like a knife. That is football. Only through bitterness can one truly value glory. Ronaldo was once the embodiment of victory, the symbol of pride, but now he is living through days of loss and heartbreak. And yet, in the hearts of millions, Ronaldo has never grown smaller. Even with more defeats, even with tears falling, the love and respect for him remain untouched, perhaps even deeper than before. Because they know, the greatest thing he has given the world is not just trophies, but the spirit of never bowing down before adversity. And one day, perhaps not too far away, when Ronaldo finally lifts a cup with Al-Nassr, all these sorrows will be washed away. Ronaldo, today, our hearts truly ache for you. But after every tear, the man will rise again and keep fighting, leaving behind an eternal legacy. Not only through victories, but through his extraordinary resilience, the kind that makes the whole world bow in respect.